Atiku should not be running for office. You cannot seriously talking about a coalition if Atiku is presenting himself as an option for the presidency. It cannot work. You cannot be talking of a coalition in which El-Ruffai is a major actor. El-Ruffai is a killer. He's a mass murderer. So for anyone to say coalition, El-Ruffai is there, I will denounce that coalition. And I've said it before and I will repeat myself for you. Any day, if El-Ruffai is running for office of the leadership of this country, or El-Ruffai is close to the people who are running for it as part of the coalition, I will personally declare my support for Tinubu to run in 2031. Let me repeat myself. If El-Ruffai, Nasir El-Ruffai, is even close to that coalition, I will be campaigning in every part of the Southeast and South-South for Tinubu, not just to run in 2027, but to run again in 2031.
Why so?
Because El-Ruffai is a mass murderer.
How?
Because El-Ruffai is a mass murderer. Go and ask the people of Kaduna State. Have you not noticed that since El-Ruffai left office in Kaduna State, the killings in Kaduna have gone down? That since El-Ruffai left office in Kaduna State, Southern Kaduna is no longer a theater of mass murder. By the way, Dadiyata, the young man who was organizing for Kwankwaso in Banawa in Kaduna State disappeared and has not been seen again.
Till now.
Nothing has been heard of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody will won't be leader. No go be the leader of only the good people of Nigeria. It go be the leader of both the good, bad, and ugly, including those religious extremists there. So do you not think he may also be an asset to the coalition going by that?
May El-Ruffai government happen to your village?
No, now. I know they talk. Say,
okay, so
I not say you wish me anything, sir.
Answer to your question. May El-Ruffai happen to your village? Amen?
No, sir, now. We are talking in practicality.
Then I cannot answer the question further since you don't want El-Ruffai to happen to your village.
Group of opposition people don't come and say they want to do coalition to make sure say then gather together comot the president. In fact, they believe say just one person, one political party no go fit comot am. So they need to come together because in the person will be jagaban for politics. They need to come together so that they go fit fight am. Do you see the coalition being successful in 2027?
First of all, in principle, of course, I think it makes sense to have a coalition because in 2023, which was their best opportunity, they failed to come together.
Yes.
And I think part of the problem was Atiku decided to do what he was not supposed to do. Political equity is important, and people have to respect their word in politics. He broke it, and so he wanted the presidency to remain in the north after Buhari had done 8 years. Okay? That had an effect on the belief of the other politicians in the project of equity and political contestation. So Peter Obi went his way, and the Labour Party, Atiku therefore lost all the votes that he was hoping to get from the southeast, in particular parts of the south-south, and Wike decided to write up results with the blood of innocent people in Rivers State in elections in which clearly the results were supposed to go in a different direction, and we are where we are. So, and of course, Kwankwaso went his own way in parts of the northwest. So that was the best opportunity they had. It was blown. So, in principle, if they could form a coalition now, it would make sense. But who will be in this coalition? Atiku should not be running for office. Full stop. You cannot seriously talking about a coalition if Atiku is presenting himself as an option for the presidency. It cannot work. Number two, you cannot be talking of a coalition in which El-Ruffai is a major actor. El-Ruffai is a killer. He's a mass murderer. So for anyone to say coalition, El-Ruffai is there, I will denounce that coalition. And I've said it before and I will repeat myself for you. Any day, if El-Ruffai is running for office of the leadership of this country, or El-Ruffai is close to the people who are running for it as part of the coalition, I will personally declare my support for Tinubu to run in 2031. Let me repeat myself. If Nasir El-Ruffai, is even close to that coalition, I will be campaigning in every part of the Southeast and South-South for Tinubu not just to run in 2027, but to run again in 2031.
Why so?
Because El-Ruffai is a mass murderer.
How?
Because El-Ruffai is a mass murderer. Go and ask the people of Kaduna State. Have you not noticed that since El-Ruffai left office in Kaduna State, the killings in Kaduna have gone down? You've not noticed that since El-Ruffai left office in Kaduna State, Southern Kaduna is no longer a theater of mass murder. He himself said that if foreign election observers behaved anyhow, that they were going to go back in body bags. He said that with his own mouth. El-Ruffai as governor went around abducting people from different parts of Nigeria. By the way, Dadiyata, the young man who was organizing for Kwankwaso in Banawa in Kaduna State, disappeared and has not been seen again.
Till now.
Nothing has been heard of him.
Yes.
Yes. So, and this is the same man who said he paid killers so that he told these people who were killing that he is one of them and that he will give them money so that they will stop killing. So killing is supposed to be profitable. How is that not a mass murder?
Prof, it a question where BC people they ask because talking about this El-Ruffai matter, then talk say whether you like him or not, the views where El-Ruffai gets, the view of some very extremists or religious extremists for inside the country. And anybody we won't be leader, no go be the leader of only the good people of Nigeria. It go be the leader of both the good, bad, and ugly, including those religious extremists them. And therefore, they go need the votes of people we get those kind of people that will be extremists to use also following election. And El-Ruffai go fit help campaign for those people their votes. So do you not think he may also be an asset to the coalition going by that?
May El-Ruffai government happen to your village?
Oh, now I know they talk. Say,
okay, so
I not say you wish me anything, sir.
Answer to your question. May El-Ruffai happen to your village? Amen?
No, sir. Now we are talking in practicality.
Then I cannot answer the question further since you don't want El-Ruffai to happen to your village.
Okay, sir. So in that case, how possibly they will it be say the coalition go fit get any existence without the support of an El-Ruffai from the north or an Atiku Abubakar, since it be say Infino Day in the picture and all of those people? How it be say will take happen? And waiting
Let
to
them
the
sort
success.
it out for themselves. The politicians will figure it out for themselves. That's all. If they can't, well, Tinubu will be returned in 2027 and all of us will be living it.
Okay, so make we talk about the crisis where they happen, the pocket of crisis where they happen across Nigeria, especially what they call the farmer headers crisis, or what people they call the deliberate killing of some people, especially Christian-dominated areas for inside Nigeria. What be your take on things where they happen for Benue, Plateau State, and now some parts of Southeast?
There is no farmer header crisis at this time. There used to be. And when there was a farmer header issue, it was seasonal. Okay? So, in the dry season, the herders moved with their cattle and in search of water for grazing and in search of grass. And around that, they would move around and they could have clashes. That was clear. Now, however, what is happening in Benue State, Plateau State, that will not be farmer header crisis. Now, that one is mass slaughter. Now, industrial level slaughter. I don't know whether you listened to the Middle Belt groups last month when they were saying that the people doing this had depopulated over 20 square kilometers of contiguous territory across 3 states. Benue, Plateau, and Nasarawa State. The old Benue Plateau State.
Yes,
yes? That they had depopulated this area and that there was a political strategy to make that part, to so depopulate that place as to make the reconfigure the political demography of the Middle Belt. I don't know whether you heard that. I'm not the person who said this. It is the Middle Belt groups who put it together, who put out the statement. And it was not from a faceless set of people. They actually addressed a press conference, which was very widely covered. So the people who were saying this put their names to it. What have the security agencies done? Nothing. I can tell you I've spoken to at least 2 governors in the Middle Belt. I'm not going to tell you what they told me, but I can say for certain that the theory that those groups put out is not unknown to people at the highest levels of political leadership in the Middle Belt.
Why are security agencies they a bit too weak, or they don't want to be proactive in tackling this matter heads on?
I cannot speak for the security agencies. They have their spokespersons, but it's not difficult to see what the issues are. One is that conflict is actually very lucrative. Okay? There is no part of Nigeria in which conflict has ended once it starts. Look, if you're probably in the South, or you're from the South, or you're close to the South. If you are, you will know that the Joint Task Force was deployed in the South in 1994. It is still there today, over 3 decades later. It was supposed to be a short-term insertion to help manage a short-term problem. It is still there. Right or wrong?
Yes, it is.
In the Middle Belt, we had a Joint Task Force deployed. It is still there. It's just been renamed. In the Northeast, we had one. It has been renamed. It is still there. Across the country, in every state of Nigeria, the armed forces are deployed in internal security operations. At the moment, over 85% of our armed services, of our troops, are involved in internal security operations. That will tell you that internal security operations have become ends in themselves. There is money to be made off of them. That's number one. Okay? Now, number 2, Nigeria, sadly, ECOWAS, under the leadership of Nigeria, mismanaged the crisis in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. And those countries provided us with a strategic buffer to the Sahel. Since they decided effectively that they were going to leave ECOWAS in September 2023, of course, the decision became fully effective January 2025, but the real effective date is 16th of September 2023. Since that time, the security crisis in Nigeria, insecurity crisis in Nigeria has risen, and the infiltration of our borders has intensified. Okay?
Yes.
And so security services, I will tell you, a lot of these people who are causing this wahala are what? They are not Nigerians, they are foreigners.
Yes.
That is part of it. Okay? Now, thirdly, of course, there is the whole issue of border management. And now you hear the armed forces saying we need to install fences around our borders. But that's really nonsensical, because the only reason, if you want to install fences, well, it's good procurement. It's a lot of money to put fence across several of those borders. If you go around Nigeria's borders, you know that most of the places are manned. And if you're putting fences, you have to award contracts, people have to procure the fences, the metal bars that you're going to be putting up. That's a lot of money. But once you finish with that, Babambola will come and start cutting it up so that they can smelt it and they can make things with it. So it's no use. I mean, Babambola, meanwhile, has been smelting up the metal on Second Niger Bridge, no be so? And the railings on Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos. So why would Babambola leave unmanned metal in the borderlands of Nigeria in the north? It doesn't make sense. But so it tells you, when these kinds of ideas are coming out, it's either that people want to divert money or people are desperate, or both.
Some people don't also look at the possible interference of Western influence. So inside some of this katakata where they happen for the areas and for different areas and for Nigeria.
Please, Western, every time, Western. Are we not ashamed of ourselves? We claim to be independent. Every time when we mismanage our situation, we say the West has done to us. I don't want to get into it, because what it says is that we infantilize ourselves. We are so stupid, we cannot. It is the West that is doing everything. If that is the case, why don't we just invite the West to come around the country? Are we that stupid? Everything is Western. Western subversion, Western infiltration, Western this, Western that. Why do people then go and take power in Nigeria the way they do?
All right.
And then the same people who take power will come and steal our money and take to the same West that they say is dealing with us. Does it make sense to you?